the latest addition to the garden. Basically what we have here is 20-gallon containers that we got from Lowe's. They're just buckets that you put toys or whatever you want in. But in this case, what we're doing is we're growing sweet potatoes. So basically you drill holes in the bottom of the plastic, and then you add your dirt. The dirt here is a combination of 1/3 peat moss, 1/3 of some gardening soil, raised bed soil, and then 1/3 of the decomposed cow manure that you get at the store. Mix that all up, throw in some perlite to make it light and fluffy, add some fertilizer in there, and you're off. So it looks like they caught. They're doing really well. We got the green vines, the slips in there, so that's doing well. And then we still have some space here, so we've added 3 buckets of Jerusalem artichokes or sunchokes. I basically had these from last year in a smaller container, and I just left them there and they were growing again. So before it got too late, what I basically did was transplant them. If you're unfamiliar with what a Jerusalem artichoke or sunchoke is, it looks like a small potato, or even looks like a kind of a spiky ginger root. And basically they are nutty in flavor when you harvest them in the winter, and they you eat them like a potato. Anything you do with a potato you can basically do with them. You can eat them raw too, I think. But they kind of got the consistency of jicama or maybe like a water chestnut, but they're really good for you. They're kind of low carb. They have something called inulin in them that's good for the body. So basically I transplanted those to a 20-gallon container and growing that. As you can see, some of them were starting to shoot up with the shoots here, so I kind of transplanted them. Basically, it's in the family of the sunflower. So what's going to happen is, unlike the sweet potatoes, whose vines just grow green and all over, these will grow up and you'll think that you've planted sunflowers, because they will grow up really high, maybe 6-7 feet high. They'll have little yellow flowers that look like sunflowers. And then in the fall, just like the sweet potatoes, the vines die. You dump the bucket out, and hopefully we'll have both sweet potatoes and some sunchokes. And basically where I planted this is, if you notice here, this is the end of where I had the containers with the blackberries on the side of the house. So basically having some extra room that is going more into gardening. Here now we have our potato patch and sunchoke patch. So we'll be doing updates here to see how that goes. A lot of these ideas, especially here with the sweet potatoes, I got off of YouTube. So if you go out to YouTube, you'll see Nancy and Hollis have a website that has all container gardens and backyard gardens. Basically, I followed their methodologies here. They did a really good job showing last year how they grew sweet potatoes, and so I'm following their methods here. So it's a really good idea and really easy. So anyways, that's the update here for the sweet potatoes.